Hello class, we are on lesson 4, solving for unknown angles, page 31 in your books. It says decide if each of these equations is true, be prepared to explain. So it gives us a line segment there. You can see the letters listed on it. So the first one there is CD, the same as adding BC. Does it equal BD? So look where CD is, make a little note, and BC, does that equal the same as what BD would be? That looks like that will be true. Second one, AB, so that's referring to the first segment there, and BD, so it looks like it's got to equal the whole line. So on the right side, if I add CD and AD, so this little piece plus the whole line, will I get the same as the left side, which was the whole line? That one would be false, because AD by itself is the whole line, so it would be this much bigger. AC minus AB, so here's AC. If I subtract AB from it, I would be left with BC. It's saying I should get AB, which is false. And the last one, if I have BD and I subtract CD from it, I get BC. And if I have AC and I subtract AB from it, I get BC, so I get the same thing. So that is, of course, true. Okay, the next one, the info gap with finding angles. Obviously, you will not be able to do that with your partner today, so we are going to skip that one. And we're going to go on to 4.3, what is the match? Match each figure to an equation that would help me figure out how to solve it. It's not asking me to solve, it's just saying match the equation. So let's take a look at A. What do you know about these two angles? Hopefully you remember that those two things are vertical angle, which means they should be equal. So do you see any equation that shows me that G and H are equal? And that would be number 2, G and H are equal. So I'm going to put a little A by that one. Let's take a look at the next one. What do you notice about G and H here? G and H are supplementary. They form a straight line, which means they have to equal 180. So if those two things have to add up to 180, that would match number 1. So I'm going to put a B there. Okay, take a look at C. G and H. Notice if G is here, that means vertically that would have to equal G there as well. Vertical has to be equal. Now look at those three. Those three are now supplementary. Those three have to equal 180. So that would match G plus H plus 35 equals 180, all supplementary. So I'm going to put a C there. Again, knowing what vertical angles are, I can look at D here and see G and this one would have to be the same. So it looks like H, G, and H have to equal 90. They are complementary. So do you see anything that says H, G, and H have to equal 90? They combined them and put two H's, and G equal 90. So that would be D. And that leaves me with letter E. 48, G and H have to equal 180. They are supplementary. G, H, and 48 equal 180. A little bit about the clock problems. It says, what is the angle if the time is 3 o'clock? And hopefully, if you do have an analog clock, you can see that that would be 90 degrees. One other thing I kind of just want to make note of, if you look at an analog clock, okay, if you look at an analog clock, the obviously little marks here represent the minutes, so how many minutes would go around the clock? That would be 60. So a full circle would be 360 degrees. And if I would divide it by 60, that means each little mark represents 6 degrees. So instead of doing another problem from our Are You Ready there, we can look at this one. And it is 3:07. Okay, so the minute hand and the hour hand, they move as you go around, so it's not always going to be perfectly on these, but I can count how many marks they are apart, how many minute marks they are apart, and figure out the angle. So I just found out every little mark is 6 degrees. 360 divided by 60 minutes, 6 degrees. So at this mark, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what would the degrees be on that temperature? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I take 8 times the 6 degree markings. That would be 48 degrees. So that's an easy way anytime you see a clock problem. Each mark is 6 degrees. All right, summary there. Again, self-explanatory like the ones we have talked about. You can write equations. These two things make a straight angle, so x plus 42 equals 180, and you'd be able to solve for x. Next one, vertical angles. 28 is the same as y, so my equation would be y equals 28. And the last one, it says the third one is complementary. That means they have to equal 90. And again, you could solve for z, but it just wants you to practice being able to write an equation. Your homework from lesson 4, there are again 7 problems going from page 35 through 37. Again, be sure to keep me in the loop if you have any questions. You can email me, discussion board, let's chat when we go live, and so on. You guys have a great rest of your day. This will be posted on Friday, so I hope you guys have a great weekend as well. We will talk soon. Take care, guys.